Diarmuid Ryan, manager of the victorious Limerick under-16s Camogie side, win the first ever Munster A Championship at the weekend. Diarmuid, I suppose you're a happy man waking up these days after Saturday or Monday's win.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's under-16 isn't all about winning or anything like that, but it is great to come out on the right side of a game like that. You know, we have a great bunch, and it's nice to be successful as well. You know.
Yeah, and the bit of history with it as well. First ever win at the grade, and as you said, it's not all about winning, but you know, the players won't think that themselves at 16. All they'll want to do is win, and that's what they've done.
Absolutely, and you know, we didn't. I don't think it was something we set out knowing that it was going to be the first time we had won a Munster Championship at A level. That wasn't our goal or anything like that. I suppose we want to be successful, but we didn't know it was the first time Limerick had ever won a 16 championship. It was great, you know. It was really, really good. And from a player's perspective, of course, they want to be as successful as they can. We have a very strong group. We're able to compete in the A division now in the Munster and the All Ireland, which isn't always the case with Limerick Camogie. So look, we're delighted to be there, you know.
And I suppose for a Limerick Camogie side going to Mallow against a Cork Camogie team, you know, it's a daunting enough task. Before the game ever started, did you get the impression that the girls were confident going down there?
Yeah, well, we played Tipperary in the semi-final a couple of weeks ago, and you know, we built up a nice lead at half time and kind of just about hung on to it for a finish, and it was a really good game to come through. And you know, over the last couple of years, we've kind of figured this is a strong group. We're able to mix it with the best teams, and we had hoped coming down we would be competitive. Before the match, I think there were certain things that might have thrown the players a bit. There was a big Limerick crowd, which was fantastic for the girls to experience. You know, there was a fine, even an awful lot of people who had no connection with the team came down and supported them, which was brilliant. And you know, they got a big cheer when they came out, and then there was the anthem was on, so stuff like that they weren't maybe 100% used to. Might have thrown them a small bit, but look, they reacted really well and played excellently and managed to come out on the right side. You know, it's great.
Yeah, you said there might have thrown him a small bit. It was, I suppose, nip and tuck really in the first half, but the second half performance is probably, you know, the team that you're used to limiting Cork to just a single point. You must have been very, very happy with that.
We're thrilled. Yeah, look, there was a fine breeze blowing down the field. We had it in the first half, and to only go in maybe 2 points up was not part of the plan. It was nearly, you know, we felt that there was more in that breeze, but we knew if we could stick to maybe the system we play and you know, bring what we always bring, that we would be there at the end. And really, they even stepped it up above and beyond that in the second half. They were excellent. You know, we got a goal at a good time in the second half, and then Cork came down. They had a free from the 21, and look, if that had gone in, it would have made it an awful lot tighter. But it was a big turning point in the half. You know, we drove on from there. It was great.
Yeah, and you've been with the team now for 3 years, following from under 14s. Have you seen this big progression from them over the years?
Well, yeah, you know, we started under 14. It was the first. We just come out of the first lockdown. We were in the first lockdown in COVID, and you know, we maybe didn't have a whole lot of time with the players. And the first ever game we had was actually below in Cork, and we got a nice trimming, and we were kind of saying, "Jesus, what are we in for here with this?" But you know, as soon as we got organised and we got together, I think since then we've been very, very strong. You know, we've been able to mix it with the stronger teams in the A grade, which is great. You know, so we knew if we could just bring them along and be organised in the best way we can, that we'd have a chance no matter who we were playing. You know.
Yeah, and I suppose to be in the A grade with the likes of, you know, Cork and Tipperary, was that always the goal, just to compete at the highest level?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it was mentioned, myself and another coach ran a call last year, and it was mentioned that look, maybe it was something we could do with maybe entering the B, and we were saying not a hope for the A, because you know, there'd be no value in us winning the B. You know, we were strong enough to compete at A. We'd be able to have a good go off it, and you know, it is nice to be able to compete with the stronger teams. We're trying to bring on players that will be able to play with Limerick senior Camogie team in a few years' time, and to do that, I think it's important to play at the highest level you can. You know.
Yeah, well, it's been successful so far. Matt, I'll throw it over to you there.
Diarmuid, first of all, congratulations on what was a fantastic performance. I'll tell you, I think you would have probably got long odds before the semi-final when your path was that you go to Tipperary first of all in the semi-final, and if you won, you went to Cork. So I think that was a fair achievement. You move on now to an All-Ireland series, Diarmuid. You might just explain to us what happens from here. What's the path forward now?
Yeah, so there are 6 teams in the top division in the All-Ireland series. Our first game is away to Cork again, probably down the Camogie grounds in Cork, which will be a longer spin than Mallow even. And look, we'll be up against it. There'll be a target on our backs after winning Munster, but at the same time, there's no weak team in that division. So it's up to us now to see, can we drive it on and be competitive in that grade as well,
In your panel, looking at your panel, Diarmuid, there are some very, very interesting connections. I'm talking about Grace Hegarty, possibly Sophia Carey, Rachel O'Grady, and a certain Caitlin Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's others there as well. And there's an awful lot of players have connections with current and past players. Of Molly Tobin and Brian Tobin there as well, and Emer Donovan, her brother, I think, is captain of Limerick 20 in there. So it's you have a lot of connections, but I think this team that they're keen to forge their own identity there, and they're happy enough to go on their own backs. There's no relying on names or clubs or anything like that. They've driven it on themselves, which is great.
Yeah, so it's all shoulders to the wheel now for the next couple of weeks in preparation for that rematch with Cork.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's we've taken a break this week now. We've kind of had a tough few months worth of training with some tough sessions over the last while. Played a lot of challenge matches, so we'll take a break. We'll enjoy the Munster Championship win, and we'll back hard at it next week and have a go after the next couple of weeks. And look, we've 5 games. I think if we win 3 of them, we'll be into or win 2 or 3 of them, we'll be into semi-final, and that's definitely the goal, to try to get to the knockouts again, and see how we go.
In terms of Limerick Camogie, Diarmuid, it's a hugely important win.
Absolutely, it's I know the senior team got relegated last year and had a great result against Offaly the last day to stay up, and the junior team have had a tough start, but you'd be hoping they'll pull together as well. But it is great for Limerick Camogie to have teams that can compete at the highest level with the teams that are at the highest level, and we'll be hoping. We think there's an awful lot of players in this panel that will drive it on. I suppose it is worth noting as well that it is a strong age group. It's the under 16 B team had a great win at the weekend as well down in Tipperary in their Munster semi-final. They're into a Munster final as well, and that's kind of indicative that there is a really strong bunch there. There's 50 or 60 really strong players, and maybe even a couple of others that aren't playing with the county panel for whatever reason that could contribute. But it's a strong age group, which is great for Limerick Camogie, as you say.
That's it from me, Jack. Best of luck in the All-Ireland series, Diarmuid.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, and I'll echo that. And I suppose there's good omens for Limerick Camogie that I suppose the minor team, Matt, and we spoke about it from 2014, have backboned an awful lot of success for Limerick. They obviously won the intermediate that year as well. So please God, Diarmuid, you and your team can follow in those footsteps. But I suppose all aboard the train for Cork next month in the first round of the Munster Championship. But enjoy the victory. They don't come around very often. First time ever for Limerick. Well done to you and your players, and thanks a million for joining, Diarmuid.
No better. Thanks, lads.
Thanks, Diarmuid. Take care.
Thank you.